Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. So I haven't filmed in a few weeks. I had 2 surgeries at the start of the month and was physically not able to talk for very long or at all for a couple weeks, and I've just been recovering. Went back to work this week and that really took a lot out of me. So finally feeling better. Not 100%, but enough that I think I can sit down and film at least one video. I'm hoping for 2 today. But while I was recovering, I had a lot of makeup come in. I got the new Singe Beauty palette. I got one of the new Dieverune shades. This is Andromeda's single from the new collection. I got some PR from Make Beauty, from What's Up Beauty. My Lisa Eldridge holiday order came in. So I've got a bunch of new stuff here. I just want to play, I think, with the Singe palette and some of the other stuff and just play with some makeup and catch up. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup. And I particularly like sparkly indie eyeshadow and high-end and luxury makeup, which you'll probably see here as well. And I tend to be pretty analytical in the videos I make. I try really hard just to make thoughtful, analytical videos, and I typically have at least one video up a week when my health allows. So I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so like I said, today's the first time I filmed in almost a month, but you know, I had surgery. So I think I mentioned I was having surgery in my last video and I was like, hopefully I'll pre-film some. Did not have time to pre-film. The surgery prep took a couple days. I was not able to eat for a whole 24 hours. So then I was like tired and grumpy and all of that. But I had my deviated septum fixed and a tonsillectomy, which, you know, tonsillectomies get worse and are harder to recover from the older you get, and I'm 37, so it was not a fun recovery at all. And I'm still not fully recovered. My uvula is very inflamed today, and so talking might be a mistake, but you know, whatever. I'm currently drinking some herbal tea to help, and I spent a lot of the day snuggling on the couch with Bean. She's still over there, sleeping, because we lost power last night. It's been storming and pouring rain and thunder and huge wind, and there's trees down everywhere. Lost power last night. There was a fire alarm that went off, like the big fire alarm, building fire alarms going off across the street for like an hour at 2 in the morning. And then the power came back at 5 a.m. and the TV and everything turned on, and I had to get up and turn those off because all of a sudden everything was bright and beeping. So I did not sleep well. So I'm just gonna drink tea and play with makeup. I think I'm gonna start with eyeshadow and then go into complexion. I don't have anything on right now. I have some brow gel in my brows just to hold them in place, and that's it. I also have a mustache now. I'm just seeing how I feel. I couldn't shave because of my nose surgery. I like physically couldn't shave with gauze and stuff for like a week, and then it just hurt too much to touch the area. So I just let it grow while I was recovering, and then I was like, you know what, let's see how I feel and leave it for now. So I have a mustache now. I'm gonna play with the Paisley Hoop palette. I have played with this a couple times for quick like pre-shower makeup just to play with it and test the formula, and a couple times to work this week. Really love this. I did get this sent to me in PR. I don't know if I'm gonna be on the Singe Beauty PR list going forward, but I did get the agate palette in the Catskills during the Creators and Friends trip, and then because this was supposed to be given to us on the trip but wasn't ready in time, we did get this one. If I do get started getting PR from them regularly, that would be great. I really like everything I've tried from them before, but I need to buy Galactic Visitor now too, because really love these formulas. So I'm gonna start with my NARS eyeshadow base. I have oily eyelids and I always have to put a base down, and then start playing with some makeup. Okay, so if I look tired, it's because I am. I probably got like 5 hours of sleep, broken into chunks last night, but you know, it's fine. And then yesterday was my first day back to the gym in a month, and I went down in weights and took my time, but it took a lot out of me. I have really been enjoying this. This is Angelica's first neutral palette with her collabs or her own brand, and I think it's a perfect earthy fall neutral palette. Like, it's not plain browns, but there is, you know, three browns in here. You've got some gray, you've got green, it's very earthy, it's really beautiful. And I have really been enjoying the Singe formula. So I'm excited to keep playing with this. I think I want to use the shade Paisley, this green. You could do something like very cool tone, fully neutral. You can do something very warm. You can do just browns. You can make it yellow. You can make it kind of red. You've got some like rose gold shades. You've got a lot of options in this. But I think I have tried velvet and paisley together and I really liked that. I mean, mustard and green, obviously, but I think I'm gonna try these like cooler gray shades with the green. So I think I'm gonna start with this shade here because it's kind of gray, kind of green. It's the shade Platforms. Also, I love the little owl imprints. I'm just using that on a fluffy brush. And then I'm gonna use the mirror in the palette. These do have giant mirrors. You can see my giant snake plant. Really like the mirrors in these two palettes. And like I said, they did finally restock Galactic Visitor, and now that I've tried these, I need to go buy it. I just haven't yet because I spent a lot of money on the Lisa Aldridge holiday stuff, and I've had a lot of stuff come in, and I've just kind of felt overwhelmed. I didn't wear makeup for 2.5 weeks, and just feeling like I need to catch up. So it's kind of hard to also bring more stuff in, if that makes sense. So I really like that that is gray with, yeah, there's like a hint of green, and it's not overly gray where it looks too ashy on my olive undertone. And she does have a warmer undertone, so I would be surprised if she made something that looked bad on a more neutral to warm undertone. And I just did a light wash of that all over as kind of a base. I am feeling a little rusty. Oh, I also have, this is the new glossy lip balm from What's Up Beauty. I am wearing this already. This is really nice. It is kind of like a lip oil lip balm. It's very hydrating. It's very shiny. My lips feel really nice, and they look really plump with it on. So I've been wearing this a lot the last couple days. They also sent me the liquid lipsticks, which I will, I don't think I'm gonna wear today, but it's a really nice formula. The shades aren't my favorite, but I really like the formula. And then I think I'm gonna grab a Singe brush. This is the EO8. I really like this brush. I picked this up in the Catskills. I'm gonna pick up the green, and I'm gonna place it out here. I could have just started with the green, but I wanted something, at least a little bit of something down to blend it into. So I think I'm just gonna do kind of an update on life, work, life, surgery, all of that. I'm gonna scoot in a little bit more too. So surgeries went well. Like, the surgeon was very happy with things, and he said I'm healing really well. I saw him like 5 days ago now, as another update. I saw him like 4 days after the surgery, and then again a couple days this last week. And yeah, I'm glad I put that other shade down. It's blending into it perfectly. He was really happy with how the recovery is going, but it's been hard. So I knew that the older you get, the harder the recovery is because your tonsils are bigger, you don't recover as fast. There's all kinds of variables in that. And they've been talking about taking my tonsils out because they were giant. Like, even when I'm not sick, they're huge. And then when I get sick, they like close my throat. Since I was like 16, and then they just kept putting it off and saying, I don't know. And then finally, in the last couple of years, I've been getting sick a lot more. I've had COVID multiple times. I have long COVID. I saw this ENT for sleep problems as well. And he was like, I think that's a big cause of this. We need to take them out. Like, these are not, you need these out. And I'm hoping in the long run, it'll be worth it. I think it is already. Like, my sleep is already a little bit better. I love the way that blended, but it's been rough. It has been a very, very rough recovery. I think I'm gonna take another Singe brush. This is a little smaller, and pick up a little bit more of that paisley shade and do a little bit of a halo eye. I'm gonna put a little bit here as well. I've been doing halo eyes more lately when I actually have the time and I'm not doing like a one and done for work. And then I'm gonna take another tiny Singe brush. This is the 11. I think I only grabbed one of these on the trip, and so I need to order another one because I really like this. I'm gonna pick up the darkest shade Boogie and just deepen up right along the lash line out here. So having both surgeries at the same time, I think, was a good idea in the long run because it means only one set of downtime, one recovery. I had to take a full 2 weeks off of work, but it made it really hard. So for my nose, if you've never had septoplasty or know someone that has, they did the surgery and then I had like stints and stuff in my nose and gauze all over my face, and I was swollen and had the gauze taped and had to change it all the time because of bleeding and stuff. That was Friday through like Monday. Tuesday was the worst of like nose pain, and my throat was like, I was like, oh, my throat doesn't hurt that bad. Like it hurts some, but like kind of like an average, like cold, the flu, like sore throat. And I was like, this isn't too bad. Like, and I know the nose pain will get better as soon as they take the splints out. So like everything's fine. And I was stupid for thinking that because I had the splints out, and then everything got so much worse. I had the splints out. I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade, Rattan, on that fluffy brush and just kind of dust the edges to add that little bit of warmth into my skin tone since I don't have a cooler skin tone. Yeah, perfect. And then it was like day 5, 6-ish through day 12. I don't know. Worst throat pain I've ever had. Hurt to swallow anything that wasn't ice cold, like popsicles or freezing cold water. I could barely eat. I've been losing weight because I gained weight on a medication, and I've been losing that weight for a while, and wanting to lose that medication weight for a while, but then I dropped 15 pounds in a week, which is not healthy. But I wasn't eating. I was like, there were days where my husband went and got me a maple bar, which is my favorite donut, because they're really soft, and I had like multiple protein shakes and a maple bar, and that was like all I ate for the day because it was all I could do between pain pills and sleep. And I tried the whole ice cream thing. Ice cream actually was not pleasant. Had a lot of Jell-O, which is nothing, you know. I really like the way this eye look is coming out. So it was rough. I had my wisdom teeth out when I was a teenager, and then like a year later I had jaw surgery because I couldn't bite down. Like this didn't happen. If I bit down, only my molars touched, and all of this, there was like a visible gap. I could stick my tongue out with my teeth clenched. So they had to break my jaw in multiple places. They had to widen my palate, do some stuff to a little bit to my maxilla, and then they had to, you know, break my mandible in multiple places and move things. Mouth was wired shut and rubber banded shut for a while. Like, I thought that would prepare me for how hard this recovery was, and I was wrong. This was worse. This was significantly worse. Worse pain, crying. I'm starting this side by putting a little bit of that Rattan shade down first anyway. Was not sleeping at all during, like, I would like sleep for a couple hours and then the pain medication would wear off, and I would have to take more and then go back to sleep for a couple hours, day and night. Like, it was rough. I've missed filming. I've missed all y'all. I, wanted to pre-film, and this year's just been rough channel-wise. You can really see the green in that now that it's up against a warm shade. work has taken a toll this year. I've been working a lot more when I got promoted at the start of the year. So I've just filmed a lot less. So my plans of channel growth and posting more and doing all of this kind of disappeared. Because when you're working 50 something hours a week, and I literally, before I started filming, had work emails come through and had to answer them and stop filming. So I'm still working a lot, but like a more manageable amount now, and work is a lot slower. We're in the slow season, so there were some issues from the storm that I had to deal with, but like overall work is slower, so like it's been better. But then my best friend's dog is not doing well health-wise, so that's been a stress. Trying to be there for her, and also I've known the dog for 12 years, so like it's sad. It's just been a lot. How are y'all doing? I know the world is, I want this channel to be a nice escape, play with fun, makeup, all of that, but also like it is a safe space. The world is scary right now. I know my friend Steven Fortitude on Instagram is, you know, they're in Chicago. Things in Chicago are not going well right now. I feel stuck where I'm like, everything's on fire and scary and awful all the time. And then work is busy and health has been lately. So like, it's all just a lot. And I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves as well, because that's taking care of yourself and each other. Like I was talking to Steven about this last night, where it's like, you know, we can get through this together. We all have to work together and take care of each other, because community is all we really have right now and is the most important thing. I don't think I like this eye as much, but that's fine. I don't know why. And like, this is a community, and I hope it feels like a community for people. And I feel like I have a community here with fellow creators like Tom and Jamila and Steven, although Steven doesn't really create anymore, and Nupur, and, you know, people I talk to, Andromeda, and now that I know Angie and Samantha March and stuff now, and they're all very sweet and very supportive. I'm glad I have more of a sense of community after Creators and Friends, with fellow creators, because it's kind of a weird, isolating thing to do this. And then with the world on fire and, you know, personal lives and health and everything, it's just a lot. So I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves too, because it's important. So even though I'm doing a halo eye, I think I want to put a little bit of the white shade just right here on the inner corner. I know I don't have concealer or anything else on, and it's a very pigmented white shade, as you can see. So I'm putting that down, and then I'm going to use a fluffy, clean brush, just another rougher brush, and really buff that in. I just want a little brightness. I picked up more white than I meant. And I think once I do concealer and stuff, I'll put some mattes under the eye. It is one of the best white mattes I've used, and you can see once you blend it in, you can really pack it on, but you can also do it lightly. I think I might try Andromeda shades on the eye. I mean, the name is also Andromeda. I have not yet, but I think I'm gonna do a little bit, stick with the green and do a little bit of this shade. I'm just gonna use my finger. I really like the Singe shimmers. They're kind of thin in a good way, very sparkly, not like very beautifully sparkly, but not emollient in any way. They don't crease on me. They last all day. They're the perfect, like, sparkly every day, where they're not Like, I love a shade like this, but for me, this is not every day. This is, it's not quite like the Nomad shimmers. It's a little more twinkly than they are, but it's that like, it's kind of like the unearthly formula in some of their palettes. That's like a little dry, not dry, but like a little dry, like a lot of shadows are kind of creamy. It's like a little drier, a little thinner, but in like the best way. And I really, really love it. Which is why I need to order Galactic Visitor now. Okay, yeah, I think I could just leave that here, but I do want to try a little bit of Andromeda. So this is for Dieverune's new collection. They did, I don't remember the name of it, but it has, I love the artwork. They did a big palette that has like poisony plants and stuff on it. And then there's like 3 or 4 single shadows. I did get this in PR. I didn't get the palette or any of the shades. I just got this one from Andromeda. But it is the perfect me shade. I think this is their Diamond Shifter formula, and you can see it is very shifty, and it does have some texture to it. So I'm gonna pick it up with my finger. I have swatched it once, but I haven't poured it on the eyes. I'm gonna with the textured shadow like this, I tend to just very lightly tap, and then put that over. You can see it's making a little shifty, a little more intense. You can see it's really, really pretty. Yeah, it's making this a much more intense eye. I really like that. And you could do a really opaque layer if you like really, because it's like, I see blue, I see green, I see gold, I see yellow, some olive. You could do like a thick opaque swatch, but my favorite way to play with these kind of sparkly shades, I prefer a more medium opacity to iridescent shade. So just lightly swiping and then tapping with my finger. I didn't know if I'd get fallout, which is why I did eyes first. And then I'm just kind of letting whatever is left trail up towards my brow bone. So if you do a really sheer layer, it's just like olive and gold and orange twinkle. Okay, love that. So thank you to Dieverune and Andromeda for sending this. I did buy Andromeda's palette with them and the quad, the soil quad, and then there's the magnetic mineralia, and I played with that and really love it. So I'm very grateful to get this little piece in PR. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my hand and then go into complexion. Okay, so for complexion, I think I'm gonna use the Make Concealer. I do think I like this. I've used it a couple times now, and I think I like it. It's fine under the eyes. It looks nice under the eyes, but I really like it all over the face. I did post on Instagram the other day wearing that, like to my story. I also have the Tower28 Concealer here that I got in PR. And I had also grabbed, because I bought it, the shade Whiskey and the Tower28 little sparkly eyeshadows, in case I wanted to go more neutral and sparkly. But since I used the Dieverune, I'm not gonna use that. But I did pick this up from Sephora recently. I had a gift card and really like this. So I can try it on camera one of these days. Make Beauty did also send me their skin tint, but this does not work for me. So when I was trying to pick a shade 04 Ginger looked a little too, it looked like it might be too light. I saw people online using the shade, and a lot of them were much more fair than me. Even at my palest winter shade, they were much lighter than me. And then I saw a couple people use the shade 06 Tan, and they were a similar skin tone to me. So I figured, and I talked to Napur, and Napur agreed, and Napur's like, I would go tan. Because Napur's met me in person multiple times. Like she knows what I look like. And it's not too dark. Like it is a very sheer skin tint, but it is not too dark depth-wise, but it is very orange, like peachy orange, and you can see that against my face. My friend Mickey Car Beauty, also got this into them and picked this shade, and it is also very orange on them, and she is a little darker than me. But it's just very, I tried it and it was sheer and like wasn't too dark, but it was just like the undertone was so aggressive. And I looked at the swatches that they have online and they all kind of look weirdly warm and orange. A lot of them do, even ginger. So I might be able to wear ginger. Maybe I should have picked that one, but it's also sparkly. I know Tom got this in PR recently too. Tried it on camera and was like, why is my face sparkly? Like, it looks like I have glitter all over my face, and they weren't wearing eyeshadow at the time, or they hadn't, I don't know. But, and I was like, that's weird. And then I tried it in like a pre-shower makeup, like, let's see what this looks like before I try to wear it to work in a rush the next morning. And it is very sparkly, even when powdered. If a light hit my face, like if I stood in bright light or I put my flashlight on my face or I just looked at my, like if I was sitting here, it would have looked, you would see like sparkle all over my skin. So I know people do really like this formula, but between the sparkle and the shade, I will not be, not sure really what to do with it either, because even if it was just like a little too dark for me, I have friends who I could give this to, but all of them have an olive undertone like I do, and this is gonna look very peachy orange against them as well. So like, I don't know what to do. I would like to see what ginger looks like in person now, but again, the sparkle, this is just not a product for me, so I don't know what to do with this now. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Haus Labs contour. I'm gonna put that on, this is a Sigma brush. Most of my other Sigma brushes I bought, this is the one I got on the trip. And it is just a soft angled cheek. And I'm gonna use this to do a little bit of contour, just picking up a little bit of the Haus Labs contour. And I'm just gonna lightly do some contour on the sides. Sometimes I will also do blush before I do concealer if I'm only wearing concealer to my base. I think because I want to use the Make Beauty ones and they're kind of sheer and glowy, I don't think I'm going to do blush first. I also have bronzer and blush from What's Up Beauty to try. I mean, I've tried, but like to use on camera. I do really like the Haus Labs contour sticks. I've been using it a lot. I would say it's more neutral olive, and the Isamaya in walnut is cool olive. So if I want like a really good cool tone, I will use that. I also have another, I have the salt one. I have the Victoria Beckham is a little warmer. It's like more bronzer, but if I want like true cool toned, I will wear the Isamaya. If I want something kind of neutral, middle, I've been grabbing this a lot. Okay, so just did the light a little bit, jawline there. And now I'm gonna use the Make Concealer. This is shade 6 Medium Olive, and I think it's a really beautiful shade. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. You can see it's brighter than my hand, but my hands are always a little darker than my face. And it's the Skin Mimetic Concealer, and I do think it really does look like skin. I think this is a really beautiful product, and I think this is a better shade range than the, what is it called? Skin Tint. And then I'm just gonna pick that up on a brush. This is a Singe brush. And I'm just going to start buffing that in. And you can see it covers the little bit of redness I have around my nose, but is a really good shade match. Put a little under the eyes. I think I might put a little of the Tower 28 under my eyes as well. And I'm just gonna put a little dot right over those zits that I had that appeared while I was recovering. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. It just looks like skin. It looks so good. I am really impressed with this concealer. This is really nice, especially all over the face. You can see I do have some under the eyes, and I think it still looks nice under the eyes. Put a little bit more up there. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush to do that. Pick up a little bit more. Just it just looks so good. I've only used it, I think 3 times. So, not the most thorough review so far, but I have worn it to work all day a couple times, worn it at home once, and then now again today. And it's the right amount of coverage. It's not too much. And it just looks like skin. I'm gonna take a little bit down on some of this razor burn that I have. And the Tower 28 shade I have is MDR, and it's a little bit lighter than that. So I think I'm gonna take a little bit right here just to kind of help brighten. I could have put that on the back of my hand too, but I'm just gonna, and then I'm just gonna take the brush that I had the contour on and lightly contour my nose and add a little dimension back. I do have to be pretty gentle with my nose still. It's a little sensitive. Still not fully healed, but that'll take a little while. So Make sent 2 of the blushes. I mean, I get to pick what they sent me. And I picked Flushed and Toasted from the Heat Stroke blushes. They did just launch matte blushes, but the shade range was smaller and they all looked a little more mauve or pink. There weren't any of these toasty shades. So I did pick both of these, and I'm gonna put both on. So Flushed is a nice kind of nude, and Toasted, obviously very toasted. I've really enjoyed both. I've worn both multiple times. So I'm gonna put a little bit of Flushed here. You can see it's a little pink, but not pink. It's a very natural blushy color. And then Toasted, much warmer, right here. And I've drawn on my face. I've also just put them on with a brush. They both work well. And then I'm gonna use this brush to pat that in. And I'm not using highlighter because these are a little glowy and I don't really wear a lot of highlighter. If I wear a highlighter, it's the Lisa Eldridge liquid highlighter generally, or one of the ones that's in the Isamaya duos that I wear with the blush itself. So really like this blush formula. I think it's not overly tacky. It's glowy and very balmy, but it lasts well. I haven't had an issue where I've gotten through the whole work day and I still have blush on, so that's a win in my book. And then I'm gonna set. So I do go slightly heavy with blush and then I set with powder, and that tends to lock it in place and tone it down just a little bit. So I'm just picking up a big brush. This is an old Sigma brush that I've had forever. The Tapered Cheek, F36, it's almost worn away. And I'm just picking up the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and I'm gonna lightly set my under eyes. And then with what's left, I will dust over the blush to kind of lock it in. And then I'll just kind of lock in everything else. If I'm gonna be out all day, I will probably also powder a little bit extra right in the center of my forehead, but it's the afternoon and I'm not going anywhere because of this weather. So I think I'm good with that. Definitely need to buy a refill for this during the Sephora sale because I've got a big pan. There's still a decent amount of product around the edge, but might as well get the refill now while it's on sale. Well, in a week or so when it starts. I have also been really enjoying this Singe 04 brush for like targeted powder. Those have been my two powder brushes. And then I'm just gonna grab, this is a Sonuji brush. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the green paisley and put that right here. And then a little bit of the rattan shade, the warm brown, put that right here, and then dust over to blend that out. Okay, I think everything looks good. I think I'm gonna go off camera real quick and do mascara and put a little bit of lip on maybe, and then I will be back. So I went ahead and curled my lashes and I put some of the Haus mascara down. Still really like this mascara. Nice definition and separation. Not too volumizing. I don't like a volumizing mascara because it just looks clumpy on me. I thought about wearing Kensington Plum from Lisa's holiday collection. Worn this once, love it. Already want to buy a backup of it. I can do a video on that collection if you want. But I think I'm gonna use one of the Singe lip liners and then a MAC lipstick that I just picked up. I bought 2 MAC lipsticks recently. These are the 3 Singe lip liners that I picked to get in this PR package. I picked Jazzy Juniper, Optimistic Oak, and Messy Mahogany. I think I will wear Oak and maybe Mahogany today, but I do really like this. These are nice as a lip liner, as a lipstick, like just all over the lid. Really like these. They kind of remind me of the Isomea ones, where the color's on the end and they're white. They're a pencil. They're not too creamy, but they're not too dry. I would say they're a little, maybe slightly drier than the MAC ones that I have. I did get 2 of those recently. Really love the formula though, and they're a really good price. They're like $12. So there's a couple shades that I think I'm gonna pick up as well when I order Galactic Visitor. So this is Oak. I've already used it a handful of times. It needs to be sharpened soon, but it's good for now. And I'm just gonna line with this. My lips, I don't have any more of the What's Up Beauty like dried and soaked in. Not dried, but it's like soaked in. So I don't feel like, when I touch my lips, I don't feel the lip balm, but it does feel hydrated. And these have a really nice slide. They're not like too creamy. Like, you know, some lip liners are like very, very creamy and emollient. These are the kind of formula that I like, that they're like in between creamy and like dry. Like I've used pencils that hurt my lips because they're so dry. This is not that. Okay, I went and sharpened it because I didn't need to. But they're not like, they're not so creamy that they're sliding or anything like that. And they're not so dry that they hurt. I have used some that hurt my lips, like I think it was the NYX ones. Really hated those. So that is Oak all over. Kind of neutral toned, really toned down my lips. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of Mahogany on the edges. And then I think I'm gonna use this shade. This is Cream in Your Coffee from MAC. Picked this up, it's been on my list of like kind of 90s looking shades that I've wanted. And it's that like pinky brown. Yeah, adds just a little bit of warmth back in. And then just kind of dab in the middle rub my lips together. Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted. So I really like the way everything came out. I like the blush, I like my complexion. I did forget that I wanted to use the bronzers that What's Up Beauty just sent. So I think I'm gonna add a little bit of that now, just to try that out. Use my favorite bronzer brush, which is the Jumbo Bronzer from Sonia G. And this is the medium shade. When I swatched this, it was literally my skin tone. So I wanna see how this looks in use. So just picked up a little bit. And I'm just gonna dust that on one side. Hairs. Okay, yeah, it is pretty much my skin tone. Might be, it's a little warmth, but not really. Like I don't know how it's gonna look on camera, but in person, it doesn't look like I did anything. So it's it's a nice baked formula. It's kind of acting as a nice finishing powder. So I will keep playing with that, but I think that's too close to my skin tone. So I'm gonna try a little bit of tan, which is gonna be a little bit darker. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that on the same brush. That's a little better. I see an actual bit of warmth. I might be able to use medium more in the dead of winter, although I didn't really get that tan this summer. I was like in the sun some, but not that much. So we'll see. I'll keep playing with them. They did send me the whole range, so I'm gonna be sending the pale one to Andromeda. And I also have the deepest one, which I don't know what to do with. And the blushes look really pretty. I've tried them once, but I think I'm gonna stick with the blush that I have on. And I'm gonna actually pick up a little bit more of Toasted and go back over. I like to do a layer, a little bit of powder, a little bit more. I think it just helps. Doing light layers and kind of micro setting with powder between them helps everything last longer and kind of really blend together to look as natural and skin-like as possible. Yeah, okay, so that is the makeup done. I really like the way my complexion looks. I love the eye look. I like the lip. I like everything that came out today. Like I said, I've used this concealer a few times. I do think it makes a wonderful base. I've worn it to work, wore beautifully throughout the day. They could totally just make this a bigger bottle and sell it as a foundation. It's just lovely. Love the eye look. Really like this palette. I think Angie did a great job with both of these that I've tried. I like everything that I used. I did want to film, one of the videos I was gonna try to pre-film was a fall palettes video, and technically it is still fall for a good month or so. So maybe technically 2 months from now, it'll still technically be fall. And here, fall and winter are just kind of one big season. So I think I will be doing that. I might film that after I have a little bit of tea and rest my voice. So that might be my second video this week. We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you think of the products, what you think of the makeup. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to know, have you tried any of these products? Are they on your wish list to try and buy during a sale or get for a present, or, you know, just later when you feel like buying something? I'd love to know what you think. And love to know just how y'all have been. I've missed filming. How has October been? I can't believe it's almost Halloween. Do you have any fun plans? I have no plans for Halloween. I don't think I've been invited to anything, and might just stay home and watch something on TV, like a scary movie or something. We'll see. But I'd love to know, how have you been? How are you handling the existential dread that is the world? Do you have anything fun planned for Halloween? I'd love to talk to y'all in the comments like always. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me, especially if you got to the end. Remember to like and subscribe. It makes the biggest difference. And I will see you all in my next video.